Welcome back to Two for the Road. In this video, we are sharing with you our springtime road trip. We will make our journey from Florida to Georgia, to Tennessee, over to Alabama, and our journey back to Florida. Well, here in Florida, the temperatures are already reaching the mid-80s, and we're heading up north to go cool off in the temperatures of the 50s and 60s for a springtime break. It doesn't take long for us to reach I-75 north and make our way towards Georgia. So after a 2.5 hour drive, we finally reached the Georgia border and we decided to pull over to the Georgia Welcome Center for a quick break.
I got an activity book, a mountain book, and a magnet. I got the activity book for me because it's got coloring, drawing.
After having a good laugh about Tammy's activity books, we were quickly back on the road to reach our first destination in Georgia. I wonder if Florida gets its Coca-Cola from this bottling plant. Okay, we made it to our first destination. It is a Love's RV stop right here in Cordell, Georgia. RV love stops are popping up all over the country, and so we decided that we'd book one for this springtime trip just to try one out. You can book these online up to 1 year in advance, and the day of your arrival you will receive an email with the authorization code to open the gate. And this authorization code also turns on your water and electric once you enter the code when you arrive. This park is definitely big rig friendly. Some of the sites are back in and some of them are pull through. Alright, we made it to our first stop in Cordell, Georgia at a Love's RV Stop Campground. We're going to show you what it looks like. Alright, so here's a quick look at the camping sites themselves. And here's our site. We got site number 9. We picked this one because it's conveniently close to the main pavilion and gave us just a little bit more room as far as the sites are concerned. All right, let's take a walk around and see what else this place has. So some of the amenities is you have laundry room, you have a dog wash, you have a doggy park, you have a water splash park for young ones. Some of these campsites have pavilions with fire rings, picnic tables, and then there's a main pavilion for group gathering, and it also has a gas grill that you can use. Some of the other cool stuff that you can do, there is a fire pit where families can gather, and then also there is a pickleball court. We're going to show you all this stuff here in a second. And here we have the pickleball court. You can rent the ball and the paddles for this activity. And here is one of 2 main pavilions, and as you can see, it has a couple picnic tables, trash can, and a gas grill barbecue. So let's see if it has some gas in there. And it does. And it does. And here we have is the splash pad with a couple pavilions, picnic tables, and of course the splash pad itself, some extra chairs. What a great way to cool off in your travels. Well, to activate it, you push the button, but it's flashing red, so
Oh, it's after 8.
Nothing's coming on. What it is, there's some rules here. After 8 o'clock, it no longer activates. Kind of a curfew thing. So, but now you know it is active. And right here you have the doggy park. It's actually 2 different sections, probably for large dog and small dog. Picnic tables, running water, trash cans, doggy bags. Pretty big areas for some running. And the final thing I wanted to share with you, as it's getting too dark, is the community fire pit. You can see he's got a bunch of chairs. It is actually a gas fire pit, and you have a button and a timer to be able to ignite it. So this is a nice spot to relax while you're here at Love's Truck Stop. And there you go, folks. You got a little timer, you turn on the timer and you push the igniter, and voila. What do you think, Tam?
Pretty cool.
I love
None
it.
of the other campgrounds have this kind of stuff.
Folks, it don't get no better than that. Alright, so we just got done eating at Bojangles. We never ate here before. It was actually pretty good, so if you're camping out here and need some food, give the place a try. And we also got Cooper a little snack too. Couldn't leave our little buddy hanging. So rain was in the forecast for that evening and was expected to last for the full day the following day of our departure. Good morning. So here is the follow-up, what it's like to spend the night at a Love's RV truck stop. The concern was, you know, the noise, and well, just let you know, did wake up a couple times because of the trains and some dieseling trucks, but we made it through. I'm a little bit tired, but is this place doable as far as staying the night for one night when you're on the road? Sure, it's very accommodating. I give it a thumbs up. So anyway, it's raining, forecast of rain all day today, so we're going to drive over and fill up our truck and prepare to make our way to our next destination, which is going to be Harrison Bay State Park in Tennessee. So tune in for that, and we'll see you there.
Okay, we're off to our first stop in Tennessee, Harrison Bay State Park in Harrison, Tennessee.
So we had about a 4.5 hour drive to make it to Harrison Bay State Park, and of course it had to rain all day, but still we had to get around Atlanta, and we were going to use one of the routes around the city. Oh my god.
Yes.
Camping sucks.
Atlanta sucks. Every time
Oh man, are you serious?
we have to go through Atlanta,
I am so
we
glad.
get stuck in this.
I'm telling you, I am so glad we left like 2 hours early to compensate for something like this. I just had a feeling. And this is the bypass interstate. It's... You can't win. You can't win. After that mess, we finally make it to Tennessee state line. And just look how the train has changed to some beautiful mountains.
You have arrived at your destination on the left.
We finally made it after a very soggy day. Harrison Bay State Park.
Radar enforced.
That's close. That's the interpretation.
Camping is straight.
We just go park office.
I don't know, I would say go to the camping. I guess behind all these cars.
All right, after a quick check-in, we scramble to our site to get set up before the rain starts once again. are here at our stop number 2, Harrison Bay State Park in Tennessee. As you can see, it's a nice sunny, shiny day. Yesterday when we arrived, it was rainy and cold and windy. But today it's not too bad, so I'm going to show you around some of the park, and we'll include some of the video that we attempted to record yesterday of the park. So let's get to it. All right, we had campsite number 19, a nice little back end site. Let's go show you what the rest of the park kind of looks like. So the park has many sites right on the lake, and this is just one of them, which has a beautiful view of that lake. Jamie and I quickly noticed that there was a large variety of these wild purple trees just blooming everywhere. I just love seeing groups of deer just out in the open grazing without any fear. Harrison Bay State Park had an amazing day use area. Just look at that beautiful pool, and right next door to it, one of the biggest indoor group shelters I've ever seen.
Harrison Bay State Park Interpretive Center, telling the story of Tennessee's first state park. Unfortunately, they're only open certain days of the week, so they're currently closed. Hi. Hi. Picnic Pavilion Shelter number 1. Well, this is what we can see from our camper. Looks like shuffleboard courts or something over there, and a pool house, and a playground.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the really fast, quick tour slash soggy tour of the park. Today we're checking out, and checkout is noon, and we're cutting it close to the deadline. So we're gonna pack up, and we're heading to Stone Fort Mountain,
All
Tennessee.
right, we're back on the road. We're now leaving Harrison Bay State Park. We're heading to Rock Island State Park. That is going to be a correction from what I said earlier in the video. I thought we were going to Old Stone Fort, but that's actually later on in our trip. We're actually going to Rock Island State Park here in Tennessee first. So it's about an hour-and-a-half drive from this park. We're going to be taking country roads, so it's going to be a lot of hill climbing, descending, curvy roads, and we'll show you some of those sites along that route. you see this bridge crossing the river, you know you have made it to Rock Island State Park. Tammy's freaking out because the trees were a little close to the road, and then she saw how close that building was. It was just made me laugh. So we quickly got to our campsite, got it set up, settled in, and relaxed a little bit because of the long drive we had today. And then tomorrow we'll go out and discover the park. Okay, let's go find out why this is the best park in Tennessee.
Check out one of the main attractions of this park is Twin Falls. It is extremely impressive, and it's literally water seeping out of the rock cliff into the river. Alright, so I'm going to try to get a closer look by climbing down the rocks to the river. Get as close as I can. But this is crazy in here. Alright, I think as close as I'm going to get. Zoom in. I may try to get a little bit closer to that little pile of rocks over there. Get a little closer, because I do see some people closer than me, so let's give it a try. Okay, trying to walk my over to a little bit of a better location. Come across some really cool rock formations some folks had left prior to me coming here. Check this out. Okay, so this is where I wanted to be. I can feel the mist from the waterfall, and I think this is the best view I could probably give you. Check this out. Okay, Twin Falls, what'd you think?
It's beautiful.
That's all you gotta say?
Well,
Woo.
you were the daredevil that decided to go down climbing rocks
I
to
think,
try to get to the other side.
I think that is the best waterfall we've ever seen.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And that waterfall right there makes it's just, that waterfall is the reason why this park is the #1 visited in the state, is just because of that waterfall. And it is definitely a bucket list item. Even if you're just doing waterfall chasing, this is definitely has to be a stop for everybody. It's just amazing. I just can't believe it. Let's get back to the car. I'm tired.
This park is so unique, like this dam, which also helps make power for the local town.
Hopefully the wind's not messing with the microphone, but we're at the boat marina and the beach swimming area, and there's a really nice little concrete ramp to launch your boat into the river. And then you have the beach that stretches this whole bend right here of the river. And what's really neat is you have the rock face cliff on the other side of the river for a really cool view while you're out here swimming. Look at that. Well, here's another vantage point of the Twin Falls from the other side of the river, and a view of the river. And this is the old cotton mill right here along the side of the river. They utilize the water to turn its machinery to process cotton. Operated 1892 to 1902. All right, we got one more thing to show you. For a day use attraction, it's called the Spring Castle, and what it is, it's a natural spring coming out of the side of the hill, and somewhere, somehow, someone took the opportunity to build a structure around the spring itself to where it looks like a little castle. And this is a pretty cool little thing. So this is what it looks like. Oh, okay, so spring comes out of the hill there, pools up, then it comes through this pipe, then you have a fountain where you could gather some water yourself. Let's see if it works. And it does. Look at that. See, some kind of shelf was there. We used to bottle it up, I guess. This is what it looks like out there. Looking back at the cotton mill and the river itself. Pretty cool. Look at the roof up there. Give it a crank, babe. Ooh.
it's really cold too.
It's cold? All right. One more look at the castle. Keep going. And there's Nana.
Very wobbly.
Nana's little prison.
At least I have water.
A little water fairy.
Today's agenda is we are heading out of Rock Island State Park. We're going to head to Falls Creek Falls State Park to take a look at the waterfalls there. And as if you remember from following our channel, that we had some bad luck and caused damage to our rig and we had left that park. So we're going back to visit that park and finally visit those waterfalls. And then we will have some other activities for today. And we have to figure out which way we're going to turn here, right or left.
I don't think it's right, but
Oh, there's a car behind me, so I'm gonna pull over here to let them go. Should have planned this out a little better, I think, before we left. All right, we managed to make our way to Falls Creek Falls, and the waterfalls itself did not disappoint.
I see some ants down there, so I guess we can hike down to it.
yeah, I must be able to. Yeah, it says right there.
Okay, that waterfall is 256 feet tall. It is the tallest waterfall on the east side of the Smokies.
So to get to the base of the waterfall, it's 4/10 of a mile one way. Just spoke to a group of people and they said it's pretty strenuous with lots of rocks. So since we're sore from yesterday's hikes, we're gonna go ahead and not go to the base today.
Okay, one of the other falls here at this state park is Piney Falls, and right next to the Piney Falls there's a suspension bridge. We're going to check out the bridge and see if it gives us any views of the falls itself. Seems to be a very short hike, a little bit rocky, but I can hear the falls from here, so I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty nice looking fall.
As people try to strip you up.
Woo. So there's the falls from this vantage point. Wow, we definitely gotta get closer. That thing looks really cool.
That little step.
Baby steps.
Here, babe.
Baby steps. Work it, work it, work it. And here's a little bit closer view. Woo-wee. Look at that. Woo. This is a bouncy one. How's Cooper doing? Oh, he's not.
He's not liking it.
Look at Cooper. Come on, buddy. It's okay. Come on to daddy. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, bud.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Take a view out here because obviously we're gonna have to turn back. He ain't gonna make it. Just go back. But wow, look at the view. Look at that, babe.
Here, go.
Wow. Oh, you want to go all the way across?
Come on, Cooper.
Okay. Let's go.
I have to just walk next door.
Poor Cooper.
As long as I'm next to him, he's okay.
Such a big
He's
baby.
looking down, that's why.
He is such a big baby. Just take a look at him. He's concentrating. He's concentrating real hard, staying real glued to close to mommy. So that makes him feel safe. He's holding his breath, I'm sure. Like this. Almost there. Almost there. Right, Cooper? Come on, buddy. Okay, I just climbed down from all the way down there. I'm under the suspension bridge. I just wanted to get a little closer to this river and the rock cliffs. It's really beautiful. And you see some folks here are fishing. Just saw a drone fly by. There's a kid over here behind me. Just flying up the river, checking it all out. Wish I would have brought mine. There's a suspension bridge up there. There goes the drone. All right, let's head back up and meet up with Tammy and Cooper. While camping at Rock Island State Park, we decided to go to Burgess State Park to check out the falls. That's right, Burgess Falls is one of Tennessee's top visited parks. Quick view of the map, we follow the red line, which is the trail to see all of the falls. Okay, as you can see right behind me is the first set. It's called Cascades Falls. Let's go check it out. Falls. It's called First Falls. Let's check that out. Wow. And you have this old swing bridge hanging here.
Yeah, it's right here.
I'll tell you, the trail, it's kind of up and downhill, roots, rocks, stairs, bridges, but it's be rated moderate, and actually quite like it. It's actually very enjoyable. Yep, because you're walking rolling hills and rocks, and there's just random creeks that run down and feed into the river. Let's check some more of this out. Okay, our favorite part, stair climbing. Let's go.
Cooper's already going.
Okay, we made it to Second Falls. It's called the Second Falls. Can't see it real well, but I'll try to give you a shot of it. There might be a overlook for it up ahead. We'll see. Okay, we made it to the Burgess Falls. You don't get to hike down to it. It's just got a really big deck for an overlook, and it's the biggest waterfall of this trail. So let's go check that out. Well, there you go. A really awesome park to visit. Really cool trail with all these waterfalls. It is a must-do when you're visiting Tennessee. It is one of the most visited parks for its waterfalls. So definitely check it out. So we just canceled our reservations at Old Stone Fort State Park, and it's because we felt that the roads in the campground itself is a little too much for the size of our rig. So what we did was we called our other reservations and added some time to it, and as the next destination has a little more to do around the area, so we're going to show you the tour of Old Stone Fort and its waterfalls and the fort itself. All right, Old Stone Fort Archaeological State Park. Now, what this park is all about, that there's some Indian ruins here where they had created a very large area of a fort, part of it being like natural earth and stone for its walls. And this park is also known for a few waterfalls. We're on the trail along the river to check out the waterfalls first, and then we'll check out the Indian fort ruins itself. So nestled between the old fort and the river, you have a museum of the Indian heritage, and the roof serves as an overlook. So we're standing in the middle of the fort. You can see there's some mounds, and then there's some like high elevations all along the edge, which is the creation of the walls. Okay, just 6.4 miles from Stone Fort State Park. You have Rutledge Falls. It is a private property, but they take into consideration the opening it to the public, and it is a very short, easy walk to the fall from the parking area. Let's go check this out. From the parking area, you will be greeted with a welcome sign, and it also asks you to follow some simple rules. Wow. Wow. Let's head down to the bottom, get a little better look at this. Private owned piece of property with this waterfall on it. You can't blame people wanting to buy property like this to live here. This is freaking amazing. So the next day was moving day for us, and we headed on over to our next stop, Old Mill Camp, and it's located right across the street from Cumberland Falls State Park. And let's just show you around the campground first, and then we'll get on over to the Cumberland Falls and see what that's all about. And of course, we had another travel day of more rain.
Probably let the gate open when you're
So we found Old Mill Campground through a Facebook group chat. Somebody highly recommending it, so we decided to add it to our list when we came up here for our spring trip. And we were just amazed how well this park was put together. These are the original owners. They designed this park, and I'm telling you, it was just a perfect park. I mean, it was just so relaxing, so friendly, so quiet, plenty of space, and the general store was well stocked with everything that you need, you know, all the way from things you may have forgotten, some souvenirs, and even some amenities for going across the street to the Cumberland Falls so you can enjoy the activities over there. And my favorite thing of this store was the local made, hand dipped ice cream. The park is big rig friendly, pet friendly. It is full hookup, meaning 50 amp electric, water, sewer, and even Wi-Fi. I mean, just look at the sites. They're well spaced out, very large sites. perfectly shaded, and I mean, what else can you ask for? It is just the perfect setting when you're visiting Tennessee. The owners put every thought into detail. I mean, just look at this little common gathering area. Look like it's a setup as a personal little campground. And then they have 2 little cabins, very cute, very accommodating and cozy. So they've just thought about everybody when they designed this park. If you'd like to see more detail of this park, go into our channel, click into the playlist, look under Tennessee, and look up Old Mill Camp, and you'll get a full review and tour of this park, and even the contact information if you should choose to stay here. All right, while staying at Old Mill Camp, we took the opportunity to go check out Cumberland Falls. Okay, we're on the trail to the overlook, to the waterfall. Fortunately, the trail to the gorge is closed today because it is at level 4, meaning the conditions are hazardous. So we're just going to take this little trail here. It's only 0.3 of a mile. Let's go check out the waterfall. The gorge being closed, there's several streams that crosses the path, and I believe that's why it's closed. And that's just fine because you're required to have at least some kind of waterproof or water shoes to get down through there, and we forgot to bring them anyway. So I think the overlook will do us just fine. And if by chance you forgot your water shoes, just head on over to the Old Mill Camp store. They also sell water shoes just for this park. So the next morning, we decided to go check out the historic area of Cookeville. We really loved the little historic area. Just loved the little old buildings and the unique shops of some breweries and some wineries. And we even hit a place that allowed dogs. So we stopped in for a beverage and we got a charcuterie board of cheese. All right, we all got a beverage. What did you order?
Blackberry cider.
And I ordered something lovebird. And I got that because I'm feeling a little feisty today. Well, let me tell you, it takes the feisty right out of you.
Let me try it. Let me try it. Very foamy. It doesn't taste like strawberries or raspberries.
Yeah, this has some raspberries, and strawberries in it,
but you can't taste it.
to me it just tastes like a regular beer. Don't really hit the fruity notes at all.
Mm-mm. Which is surprising.
Yeah. But it's still good. I mean, the reason yours is really popping because it is a hard cider.
Yep.
So, all right. So we ordered a little cheese plate, and we'll see what that looks like when it comes out here in a few minutes. Well, the cheese plate, the presentation wasn't all that fancy. It's a little disappointing, but the cheese was good. We finished that up and we headed back to the campground because today was moving day as we need to move on to our next site. All right, we just left Old Mill Campground in Tennessee. We are now headed to Alabama. We're headed to DeSoto State Park for a few days, and it's going to be about a 3-4 hour drive, and we'll see you there. State line, home sweet home Alabama. And first thing we hit on arrival of the state is this gorgeous, unique, historic town. All right, guys, we made it to DeSoto State Park. We are proceeding to the campground. We have site number 65. It's a nice windy road getting into it. Once we get checked in, hooked up, we'll show you our campsite and show you around a little bit of the campground. And of course, we'll adventure out to the waterfalls. See you in a little bit. All right, site 65. Nice little back end site. It'll hold a 50-foot rig. We are 41 feet long. Gravel driveway, gravel pad, new picnic table. Looks like a new charcoal grill. And then the fire pit is down here. And this is what it looks like back behind our rig. Nice wooded area. And there is also a creek back here. The water's flowing pretty good. Let's go down here and check it out. Oh, it is a nice little creek. Nice little rippling sounds of the water. I just love seeing creeks like this with the rocks and the stones. Alright, so one of the cool things you can do if you need firewood, there's a area where you can pay, and there's a where you put the money in the box. We're gonna buy us a bundle of firewood. Firewood is $7. All I had was $10, so I guess the park's getting a little tip. Every time we leave to go camping, I always wash the camper from roof all the way down. And then I go through the trouble of washing the truck, waxing it, and it's always, without doubt, within an hour or the first day of travel, everything is filthy. Just look at my truck. You won't be able to see it that much in the camper, but the truck you can definitely tell. Look at this thing. It is coated with Georgia mud, Tennessee mud, Alabama mud, Florida dirt. You know, just the love and the life of camping, I guess. But here's something else I noticed. Somewhere along the line between Georgia and Tennessee, we've been traveling in the rain, and somehow a rock come up from somewhere and hit this cap light, and you can see it is broken. And of course, with the rain, it filled in, because it's like a hollow tube with the light running in it. It filled up with water, and I don't turn on that light very often, but the other night I went to turn it on and half the lights were working, and that's when I discovered that was broken. So I don't know, guys, it seems like every time we take this thing out, there's always something that needs a little bit of a adjustment. So that's all right, because that is a white light. I was actually thinking about updating it to like an amber LED light or a blue one. So guess I'll be online looking for a replacement when we get home. But you know, it is what it is. All right, let's see what this park's all about, starting with the ranger station. This park offers zip lining. It even has some of the finest trails I've ever seen. Beautiful wooded area and some of the biggest rock formations. A good portion of the trail is even on a boardwalk, and along the boardwalk you'll even find some cascading waterfalls and so much more. And as you progress along the trail, you'll find yourself looking over a waterfall. And here's a rare opportunity. The same waterfall, you can actually stand up inside of it. And as the trail progresses beyond the waterfall, it'll bring you along the creek leading down to the river. So to get to DeSoto Fall itself, it is a very long drive. You actually have to drive through a neighborhood to get to the other end of the park. And then, finally, you'll be able to enjoy the falls. Alright, we make our way up to DeSoto Falls itself, starting off with the dam. And just a short distance away, we will make our way to the overlook of DeSoto Falls itself to see the natural power of Mother Nature. Well, that was an impressive waterfall. Let's see what else this wonderful park has to offer. So let's check out the day use area. There are several group shelters and a playground, and also a lot of picnic tables with standalone grills for individuals to spend the day. And look at that, a fireplace to make a cozy fire. DeSoto State Park has one of the finest campgrounds I have seen in the state of Alabama.
Okay, it's moving day. Heading to White Oak Creek Campground in Alabama.
Alright, as we make about a 5-hour drive headed south, you can feel that we're getting that much closer back to Florida as the temperatures started getting warmer and warmer. Okay, our final stop for our springtime road trip. It is White Oak Creek Campground. It's a COE campground in southern Alabama.
Check in and park in right lane.
Site number 76. As you can see, it is a back-in site, non-water site, and it was tricky to get into because, as you can see, the driveway is straight in. It is not at an angle like you see most campsites. So as soon as I pulled up, I knew I was going to have some trouble because the pole right there, and what we did not see in the photo when we booked the site is that power pole right there on the other side for swinging the camper in. So what I did was I came all the way over here in the grass and started making my extremely sharp turn. You may be able to see in the ground the tire tracks, and I cut it close as possible to that campsite marker to give me enough room on the other side. And took a couple minutes, but we got in there. Site's pretty level for the most part. 30 amp, 50 amp water. And of course you have a picnic table, standalone table, lantern hanger, and a fire ring, and a really decent living space. So we're only staying here for one night because we are making our journey back to Florida. And we picked a non-water site because of us only being here one night. We didn't want to take a water site where it would take away from somebody else wanting to spend the entire weekend on a waterfront. So trying to be a little courteous to other campers. So this is the site we took. It's a little rough. So I wanted to make one more note about camping here, is ants. Ants are the dominant creature in this park. So when you come here, make sure you bring some kind of bug killer to put around your stabilizer levelers, your wheels, and try to get your cords and hoses off the ground if you can, because they will find their way into your camper. As I drove around, I seen a lot of people with bug killer barriers around their rigs. Alright, so here we are entering the day use side of White Oak Creek Campground, Corps of Engineering, COE Park. So if you have a camping pass, you're allowed to just enter, but if not, you got to pay up. So let's go check out the day use area, see what it has to offer. To go in there. So the day use area has a playground for the kids, horseshoe pits, and a really nice big pavilion for some group And you have this little roundabout thing, and it's really tight. Yeah, my tires just jumped a curb. See, there is some nice picnic tables, grills, a second pavilion. There are restrooms here. Sorry, trying to keep my mirror out of the picture here. Got additional swing set and something I haven't seen in a long time, and that is a merry-go-round. So cool. There is 134 campsites to choose from. The campsites have 30 amp electric, 50 amp electric, water hookup, and then there is a separate dump station. This is the loop we're in. We are in site 76. We'll give you a up close view of that site, and then we'll also show some empty sites that we see later on in the video, so you'll know what to expect as far as the sites are concerned. But let's just get the drive-through done so you can see if this is the loop you want to be in, starting with site number 60. These two are a little bit longer driveways, nice wooded sites, and they do level off at the bottom. I'll just turn the camera over a little bit. Sites are a little bit tight here between you and your neighbor. Nice swing set down there, and another merry-go-round. Wow, boy, I jinxed myself saying I haven't seen one in so long. That's 3 in here. Those folks have a nice big pile of firewood. Thing is, if you have a big rig, it is a one-way. You have to make a right-hand turn here. You can see that second driveway. That's a campsite. So hopefully there's going to be nobody's vehicles there when you need to make an exit. And so if somebody's there, that will maybe be a big problem for us when we go to leave. So if there is, I'll have to be knocking on somebody's door. But wonderful sights. Just look at all of that water. This is a huge lake, folks. Nice big rig right there in that site. And here's a few of them that are not on the water. All right, guys, we're back on the road, headed for Florida. It doesn't take long until we're back on the interstate, making our way home. Alright, we just now got on to Interstate 75 heading south. We are now in Florida territory, probably the world's biggest sandbar, and making our way home. We hope you enjoyed our road trip to Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and back to Florida. Well, we sure enjoy sharing our springtime road trip with you. You should consider subscribing to our channel and ringing that bell. You'll never know. We just may be guilty of adding to your bucket lists. And as always, thanks for watching. 2 for the road.